Hello, I am Namisile Pamela Ngubane, and this is the Entity Dynamics podcast. Entity Dynamics is a culture development consultancy where we believe that culture creates behavior and behavior creates reality. So the title of this video is A Culture of Choosing the Better Part. And this comes from the Gospel of Luke, where Jesus has gone to see Mary and Martha. And Martha is in the kitchen fasting, and Mary is sitting with the disciples listening to the Christ speak. So then Martha comes in and she says, "Lord, Mary is leaving me to serve alone. Tell her to come and help me." And then Jesus says to Martha, "Martha, you are concerned with many cares and things, but Mary has chosen what is needed. She has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken from her." Okay. So this was meaning that, he came to teach, and it's like he said when he was 12 years old, "I've come about my father's business," right? That was his mission, and his mission was to teach. It was to bring the kingdom of heaven to earth by teaching people that the kingdom of heaven is within themselves and they must become in alignment with their creator in order to access it and to also be conduits of it to the earth. Okay, so Mary is learning here. She's in alignment with what his purpose is. Martha thinks that this great master is here and I must cook him this feast to make him feel honored and whatever, right? And, I even think to myself, like, what was happening beforehand? Maybe, Mary walks in and she's like, "The master has arrived," and she sees Martha like freaking out. She's probably had like a sheep slaughtered or something, and that's going, and there's this and that and all these things happening. I don't know, some hummus, but like she's gone and sourced like the most premium chickpea she could find, and she's wants some pine nuts to put in it as well. I don't know, something like that, right? And Mary is like, "Dude, we have bread, we have dates, we have some normal chickpea hummus, we have olive oil, we've got some grape juice. What's the big deal? This is enough." And Martha's like, no, we need to make it super lavish. And Mary was like, "I'm going to just give him what we've got and I'm going to listen to him because that's what I'm interested in." So now she's sitting, and then Martha complains, and Jesus is like, "No, Martha, Mary is not going to be deprived of the good thing that she's chosen, the better part." And I think for ourselves, when it comes to, if you are a Christian or any religious person, it's to really focus on the purpose of your religion, the purpose of why you go to church. You go there to connect with your creator through whatever rituals and motions and scriptural elucidations from the preacher that you are there to get, And what's sad is that a lot of people in these religious institutions will be so fixated on the things that they do on a social level in those religious institutions. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, there's a bake sale. Oh, the priest needs, I don't know, new clothes or something. Because I know Catholic priests tend to be quite poverty-stricken people. And I grew up Catholic, so. There's a ladies' tea at church. And then you go to that ladies' tea at church, and it's not about Christ. It's about social things. You know what I'm saying? Or, we're having the priest over for Sunday lunch. Go get dressed in your best clothes. And it's like, okay, I was just in my best clothes for church. Now I need to get dressed into a whole other outfit to have this priest come over. What's that about? Isn't he here to teach us the word of God? And then the priest comes and he's just talking social stuff as well. Maybe church business, but church business that has nothing to do with the gospel, that has to do with raising money for, I don't know, maybe to do some charity, Okay, whatever, that's cool. Do charity by all means, of course, but do charity in the name of Christ, not in the name of the church, which is what ends up happening half the time, So it's all about elevating, choosing the better part. What is the better part? The better part is that which connects you to your creator. which connects you to your purpose for coming to this planet. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not that, then it really becomes a bit of a loss to you as a spiritual being, because you are here for a spiritual purpose in your beingness as a soul, you know. And I think, also when it comes to choosing the better part, it's about choosing the better part for ourselves as individuals. We all come into this world and we grow up as children. And as children, we have this vision for our lives. We have a vision of the world. We're so optimistic. We really believe that whatever it is that we came here to do, we will achieve it. We believe that whatever dream we have, we can achieve it and we will achieve it. We believe it, but then as life goes on, as time goes on, we get told by various people in positions of authority over us as children that what we want is impractical, it's not possible, what's the point of it? You need to make money, you need to be of service to your society, as if you vibrating at your most authentic self is not going to be of service. It is going to be of service, but there's a lot of ignorance, right, about all these things. It's like people don't understand that if a person is fulfilling their soul's mission for being on this planet, that is the best thing they can do to be of service to society. Because when you're vibrating at a level of authenticity and in alignment with your creator, you become a conduit of that spiritual power to this planet. You become that conduit. You know what I'm saying? And even more so, if you are able to achieve it against the odds that the society places and the system places, And so I think choosing the better part really is that, going back to your purpose, but it's also about raising your standards, to what you want them to be. Because another thing that we taught, along with giving up on ourselves, on our true selves, we taught to lower our standards so that we can fit in with the people around us and so that we can make the people around us comfortable. And it's like, all that happens is that you abandon yourself for the sake of people who don't even value the sacrifice that you've made in giving up on who you truly are for the sake of making them comfortable and happy around you. You know what I'm saying? So, choosing the better part, it's reconnect with that inner child who was an idealist. Obviously, now that you're older, you know that there are certain practicalities involved with stuff. But, and that's what this process of growing up is. It's to learn the practicalities of how to implement your purpose for coming to this planet. It's not to abandon it, and also like when you lower your standards so that you can accommodate maybe a partner in a relationship, for example, you really are undermining your soul at the end of the day. And that's why so many relationships are unhappy, because people are going around undermining their souls, not expressing the truth of who they are, and then expecting to be happy. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? And another thing is that, we really need to give way more respect to children and what they bring. Because when they come, they are coming straight from the source. Your soul, when you are born, is already fully formed. It's eternal. It's intact. You're just in a baby's body that hasn't developed the skills of communication yet. But if you even try telepathically to talk to a baby, you will learn some really deep stuff if you tap into your telepathic abilities, which we all have, And same thing is if you tap into the truth of yourself, connect to the aspect of yourself which never leaves the spiritual realm, which is always tethered there, you will learn about what your soul mission is. Yes, the world is steeped in a culture of mediocrity, but that shouldn't be your problem, and that shouldn't be what makes you determine how you're going to live your life on this planet. You know what I'm saying? You really need to live for why you're here. Live for your soul's purpose. If you're alone in doing it, eventually you'll find your people. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.